I'm Nigerian. I've been in the States for 10 years. Obviously, because this is what I do now, I work in minority affairs. Technically, there's no racism in Nigeria. I mean, everybody looks the same, so it's kind of hard to have. There is ethnocentrism, and there's classism, and there's sexism, so it's not in any way to paint Nigeria as a perfect country, but the polarization based on race doesn't exist. I've got an older brother, an older sister, a younger brother, and an adopted sister, who is actually my step-aunt, but seeing as she's 23, she's like my baby sister now. I have a bachelor's degree from Baylor University in Human Resources Management and a master's of labor relations and HR from Michigan State University. And obviously I'm not using any of my degrees right now, but let me start with why I moved into multicultural affairs, because educationally that's not what I set out to do. I set out to work in corporate America. I've always been interested in culture, always been passionate about multiculturalism. When I was an undergrad, two things happened. One, I took an economics of gender course and was just furious that women earned less than men. It wasn't computing, didn't make any sense to me. I also, when I first got to Baylor, watched a lot of the Learning Channel and the Discovery Channel, and anytime Africa was depicted, it was always, I think it's the Maasai tribe in Kenya, and always we were presented in very, very monocultural kind of ways, and that really just got to me. And so started the African Students Association to provide an authentic view of what Africa is. Africa is not a country, it's a continent, it's very diverse. Not everybody walks around, without wearing jeans, and we have cars, we have skyscrapers, we got it all. And so that got me, the economics of gender class got me to social justice, and then the African Students Association really reinforced my passion about presenting the truth about underrepresented groups. And so I had no idea that I could do this for a living, but once I found out that I could, I knew this is where I wanted to be. Coming to Northwest, when I got here, I remember coming here and everybody was really cool, and I was like, oh, that's great and all, but I have got to get out of the Midwest. I do not like the Midwest at all. But as part of the, you spend a day, as part of the interviews, I got to talk to students. And I asked students like the same general questions. Why do African Americans and Hispanic Americans do worse on SATs and ACTs than European Americans and Asian Americans in the math sections? And you're asking all these questions, and I'm getting all these knee-jerk responses from students. But I came here and I talked to the students here, and oh gosh, it was fascinating. And I was just like, shucks, I'm going to have to come to the Midwest. But it's been 2 years, and I do not regret it. I think I wanted to be a leader. I just wanted to tell people what to do. I've just always done that. So I don't think there was necessarily a set career path, but I just knew that I wanted to be in charge. But I have always been involved in cultural type things, even when I was in Nigeria.
What do you think is the most important aspect of cultural diversity?
Pick one thing, it's always so hard. The fact that nobody has all the answers, and so we need each other, and we need, the advantages that every culture brings to the table. If European Americans are very structured, that's important. Asian Americans bring a long-term process orientation, that's important. Native Americans are very passionate about the environment. The culture is about being connected to everything. That's important. African Americans bring a lot of creativity and a lot of resilience to the table. That's important. Hispanic Americans are passionate and very family oriented. That's important. So everybody has a piece of the puzzle. If we all don't come and work together, we're going to be missing out. And I think for me, that's one of the main driving forces. Because I am passionate about social justice, I think it's important for us to be aware of the fact that we're very everybody's ethnocentric. We all believe our way of doing things is the best way. And, you know, it might be what you learned in your family, it might be, you know, what you learned in the class. But until we realize that most of the things that we take for granted have cultural origins, we just go around being ethnocentric and we're judging people wrongly. And the assumption that people are doing something wrong when they're just doing things differently is something that you don't get to realize until you realize how monocultural many things are. I'm half extroverted and half introverted, and I use all my extroverted energy at work. So I think if people realized that I'm half and half. Every time I take the Myers-Briggs, I'm 50-50 on the EI scale. And so I think because, you know, I interact with students and stuff at work, they don't realize how introverted I am. And, you know, if you come to my house, you'd be totally shocked. I want to read. I just want to be by myself and think and process and all of that. So because I'm so goofy at work, that's probably a surprise.
And since Black History Month is next month, I was just wondering what it means to you.
The theme for this month is envisioning the future by standing on the shoulders of giants. And that really is what Black achievement means to me. The fact that there are people who look like me, who have faced harsher odds and barriers than I ever will, and who have fought through that and bounced back and have succeeded. That is just so inspirational to me. So whenever, you know, I go, oh my gosh, it's so hard, or I can't do it, or, you know, someone's discriminating against me, I have people who've gone before to encourage me. And one of our speakers this month is 82 years old, Dr. William Parker. And I mean, you see him and you have no clue he's that old. And he's been here, he came here in August, and just amazing the stories he was sharing with us. And you know, we realize, oh, we have it kind of good compared to those who came before. And so really being able to draw energy and passion and inspiration from the giants who've gone before us, and there are many of them, you know, far beyond, you know, the famous figures we talk about. That's